Stop scrolling. You found me. This is Eric T with the Eric T Conversation. Join me for some chit chat, some observations, and some good old fashioned conversation. Welcome to the Eric T Conversation. I'm Eric T. So I hung up my Christmas tree lights the other day, and I'm sure a lot of you out there hang up Christmas tree lights. Kind of what we do. I've been doing it for a very long time, since I was a kid, because my parents hung up Christmas tree lights. So I've done it. So this year I almost didn't do it. I was so close to not doing it. I got a couple of days into December. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I just want to do it. I got a lot of Christmas cheer inside the house. I don't need my friends and neighbors like, oh, see my Christmas cheer outside. I'm like, they know I like Christmas, so they know to see it. I don't need to flaunt my Christmas flex. So I decided Sunday, Dolphins weren't playing, so might as well hang up some Christmas tree lights. So I got all the boxes out and I started pulling out the Christmas tree lights. And this year I just wasn't going to go nuts. Going to hang up a few lights, some colored ones. I like colored lights. Some people like the all white lights. I like some colored lights. I sprinkle some white ones in there, but I do colored lights. So I had some bushes up front, throw the nets on there. Got a couple of nets over here, easy peasy. Throw those on. Got a couple of strings. I wrap around some bushes, lace them through. And as I'm hanging up some other ones, I do some little palm trees with some blue lights. Just some easy blue lights, put them up the palm trees. And when I plugged them in, half didn't work. So I have a lot of lights. So I wasn't going to go around messing around doing a bunch of different lights and go buy a bunch, because I have a whole plethora of lights I'm not going to be using anymore. So I said, this year I'm going to open that up and I'm going to be a guy. I'm going to change that fuse in that one side of the strand that doesn't work because they're intertwined and one half doesn't work. So I don't know if you ever opened the little thing on the Christmas tree lights, but the little door, and you open it up on the male side. And you got two little tiny fuses. They're like a half an inch, probably smaller, but they're very small fuses. And every time you buy lights, they give you a set of fuses, assuming you're going to lose some light power and you're going to have to change the fuse. And they give you light bulbs, which I don't understand the whole light bulb thing, because they're not the same ones. They're like a white, they're clear with a red on it. So then they don't look like any other light bulbs on the strand, but they give you an extra light bulb just in case. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get the fuse out. So it's so small, you can't get the fuse out. I have this tiny little sharp tool, like flick it out, get it, pliers, pull it out. And I was going to get my own meter and check it, make sure it works. But I was like, I'm right here. I got the fuses. Let me just pop it in, plug it in. Pop the one fuse in, plug it in. Doesn't work. Take the other one out, put the fuse in, plug it in. Guess what? Doesn't work either. I'm like, then why are they giving you fuses for the lights if the fuses don't fix the busted lights? Because when I took them down, I test them all when I'm taking them down. I know I do an ops check. I check them, make sure they're lit up real nice, and then I bring them down. Okay, bring them down. So what happened in the last 330 days in a box? They decided to just like die on me. So I tossed those sons of bitches. I'm like, I'm not fixing. We're not getting. You know what? Not getting lights this year. That tree's not getting any lights on that one. We'll wrap some other ones, hop over that one, and have a huge palm tree out front where I have a bunch of lights wrapped around it. And it's not a regular palm tree. It looks like a pineapple. I don't know what they're called. If you guys know what these big palm trees are called, let me know. They're big and they got leaf, like the branches coming all the way up on it. So I wrapped it 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, when I took all the lights down, unbeknownst to me, I forgot that palm tree. So about 2 months later, I'm doing some yard work around the tree, and I see a wire hanging down. I'm like, I forgot to take those down. Didn't even notice I didn't take the lights down. I was like, screw it. We'll wait another 10 months and spark them up, see what happens. So the next year rolls around, put all the lights in, plug that sucker in, lit right up. So when I got done last year, it's like, well, it worked 1 year. Let's see if it works another year. Because I don't know if you've ever wrapped around a tree. At my age, you get dizzy. It's hard to spin around. And I don't have small kids anymore. They're gone. So there's nobody helping Eric out with the tree lights. It's just me. So I'm out there doing it. I was like, I'm going to leave them up again 1 more year. see what happens. So I hung up all the lights, kind of, half-assed. And then I got to the last one. I was going to plug in that palm tree. I had to pull it out of the dirt, brush it off. And I'm like Clark Griswold when he lit up his house. It's like, bam, suck a lid right up. Right. It's never coming down. You can't notice it. Nobody notices it's still on there. I'm not the guy with the lights on the house that you notice in July. They're wrapped around. You can't even see it. They're in incognito. So they work. Lights are up. And the best invention in the past 100 years for me is the star shower. I don't know if you know what this is. It's a little light box that plug it in and it sprinkles lights all over your house. It's amazing. This invention would have been at the World's Fair when they had the World's Fair like in the 1920s and all that. This invention would have been in the World's Fair and people would have been like, wow, that's amazing. Because it's amazing. You could set it on green and red. You can make it, animate a little bit, move around. Then you got the other ones. You can put a little slot in it. And then it puts little caricatures up on the wall. They're amazing. So if you're really lazy and don't want to do any trees, you get 2 star showers for like $20. Bam, bam, spark them up. You lit up. The house is lit, done. And I haven't gotten to that level yet, but I'm close. I'm getting close. When star showers go on sale, it's on. Going to get a bunch of them, pop, pop, pop. One extension cord, do a little daisy chain on them, and wrap around the house. And no more Christmas lights for Eric. I'll be one and done because taking them out sucks. Put them up is okay. Taking them down sucks. You got to wrap them up and all that. So I'm done with the Christmas lights because I kind of used to have a lot of fun with him when he had the C9s. Those are big bulbs, the big red, blue, green, white, the C9 and the C6s. Those are big suckers. C9s and the C6. I'm old school. I like that. So I don't put them on the house anymore. I retired 8 years ago from putting them on the house because I got too old. And at one point I realized if I fell, it would be detrimental to my family for money purposes. So, the money train would just stop if Eric just falls off the roof and dies. So I've been hanging these up since I was probably 12 years old when my father realized he was too old to get on the roof. So Eric at 12 years old would be on the roof hanging up those big C9s. And we had 11-foot ceilings in my parents' house and a high apex. It was like a 65-degree angle on that roof. And I'm hanging over I couldn't see shit. I'm just feeling down. And my dad's there kind of directing me, telling me where to go. Like, a little left, a little to the right. Put the nail in it. I had to put a special nail in it to hook it up on the lights. And I got and he goes, you're flipping around. I'm like, Dad, I can't flip. He's like, flip it. You almost got it. And I had to flip. And we did the whole house. You got to do the whole house, the whole perimeter. You can't just do one side. If you're doing the front side, you're half-assed. Do the whole thing, front and back. Now, you can go 80% to the back. I get it. You may not see it. But me, I like to go all the way around. I know. I do it. If I'm going to do it, it's 100%. You can walk my house perimeter, and you see all the C9s. The bad thing about the C9s is you break one. You got to be careful. You pull it out. You got to unplug everything because those are hot. That's a hot bulb. You got to take it out. And then if it breaks all the way in, you got to put a plier in there while it's unplugged. Mind you, unplugged. Stick a plier in there, open a plier, and you got to twist it to get that C9 out. Put that sucker out. Then you put it in, and you look for some bulbs, and all you got is red. All you've got is red. And then there's a red one, and then a blue one, and then all you got is red light bulbs left. What do you do? Now you got to start moving around lights. So like, hey, give me that white one over there. All right, give me the blue one. You move a green and a blue, and sometimes you got green and green next to each other when you run out of room. It's just the way it works. But those are the good lights. I'm old school. I like the old lights. But I had to stop doing it because I got on the roof and it was just I started worrying about my safety, and they take a lot of power. Old school light bulbs. And you can replace them with the LEDs that trickle a little power, but LEDs, C9s, no joke. Those are expensive. Okay, I'm not a baller like that. I don't wrap my house with C9 LED lights. I'm old. I got one at a time. So I had to retire that. So I hung up my Christmas lights. It's not the best. I didn't put any floaties out. No floats, no blow ups in the house because that freaking Santa Claus never stands up, never comes back up. He's up, the wind blows just a little bit, Santa's back down. I go out, I pick him back up, I got to restake it, come back in the afternoon, Santa's back down. I was like, you know what? Rudolph comes up, pop. Rudolph's right up. Rudolph comes right up every time. Santa's not so much. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of the struggle and the battle with Santa Claus blow ups. So I took all the blow ups down, didn't put any of those up this year. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I got Christmas cheer in here and on the inside of the house. I don't need it outside. I'm okay with that. Well, that's my observation. Now on for my conversation. So South Korea is blowing up. They're in fuego. I don't know if you heard, but South Korea, that's a good Korea. That's the one we like. Seoul, that's where the Olympics were. North Korea is one with the Rocket Man. Yeah, Kim Jong-un, that guy, he's the bad guy. So South Korea, apparently, there are some North Korean sympathizers in South Korea. And the President Yoon, decided to declare martial law and just lock it all down. He locked it all down. There's tanks rolling around. And the sad thing about it is, South Korea has one of the higher crypto exchanges. So anytime somebody says boo, crypto just takes a hit. And crypto exchanges started like kind of freaking out. And nobody really freaks out. Those exchanges in those countries start selling off, taking their money just in case they need it. So the whole market got affected. So crypto went down a little bit, which is fine. It happens. Like I said, this is time to buy. When it happens, when things like that, when news like that happens, it's not something that's detrimental to the crypto space. It's just political, and politics always messes with the stock market. Now with crypto, and crypto moves pretty quick because it's very volatile. So North Korea was on fire. So he locked the whole country down because he had all these sympathizers for North Korea. So he's telling everybody to stay inside, kind of telling you can't do certain things anymore. He's trying to work on their economy, trying to do some unlimited liquidity for the country. I don't know what that is. That might be a good sign for crypto with XRP or something like that if they want great liquidity for their country, try to get some things back on track. But every time some of these countries says boo, everything goes to shit. Unfortunately, we have a weak leader, and when you have a weak leader, countries just kind of like run amok. And people don't understand. The United States is the leader of the world. We're not the leader of the world, but they follow our lead. And we set the beacon for a lot of countries. And if we're weak, things just start going haywire in other countries. That's why it's important to have a very strong leader in the United States. It keeps things on an even keel around the world. So hopefully North Korean or the South Koreans can figure it out, because we can't have no North Korean sympathizers in South Korea. So get it together, South Korea. Let's figure it out. Let's all just get along. And then we got Joe Biden. Joe Biden pardoned his son. We talked about it the other day. The problem that he's doing now, he's just coming out saying, well, my son went after politically, and the right went after him, and that's why I pardoned him. And that's not why. Your son was a criminal. Your son had evaded taxes, all that money that he laundered from Ukraine and China. Didn't want to pay his taxes on that. Gee, I wonder why. And then he had a gun charge. He had a federal crime, so he was in prison, jail for that. That's why he was in jail. And I said before, I get it. You want to pardon your son, but just say it. Just say, listen, I'm the president of the United States. This is my boy. I've already had 2 children die. This is my last kid. I'm going to pardon this guy. I'm going to pardon him. Well, not last kid, he has a daughter. I'm going to pardon my son because I'm the president of the United States and I have the ultimate pardon power, and I'm going to do it. Just own it. These politicians don't understand. The country gets it that you have some power. We understand that you have certain things that you can do to benefit yourself. We know that the government was crappy for the past 4 years, and when Kamala Harris was running, she didn't want to distance herself from Biden and talk about the border and just admit you screwed up. Say, we screwed up the border. I didn't go there. I should have gone there. It was my bad. We're going to do much better this time, and own it. the country respects when you own your mistakes. We don't like it when you lie to us because you went for the past 9 months saying, I'm not going to pardon my son. The news media, the legacy media was saying he's not going to pardon his son. He's a real down good man. He's not going to pardon his son, even though he can do it. He's already said he's not going to pardon his son. That is what a man he is. Even though it's his son, he's not going to do it. That shows character for Joe Biden. No, and the whole time, you knew he was going to do it. Everybody knew he was going to do it. If you didn't do it, you're an asshole. I mean, Dad, really? You leave me here? Good luck with Christmas in like 5 years. No, absolutely was going to do it. But own it. Say I did it because I'm the President of the United States. I have ultimate power with pardon power, and I'm going to do it. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. It's on you. What are you going to do about it? So I wish some of these politicians out there would start owning some of the mistakes that they made. We can forgive mistakes. We don't like the lies because the lies pile on lies and other lies, and then we all think we're getting bamboozled. And that's why Trump won the way he did, because we're tired of it. And we're tired of why politicians think we're stupid, and we're not. And we're waking up. And this country's starting to pay attention, and now these politicians that keep not taking responsibility for what they do and just own it, you're going to get voted out of office. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to get primaried, and you're gone. So the days of these incumbent politicians staying in office, nobody's running against them. Traditionally, when you got an incumbent in the office, nobody runs against you. Unless you're really messed up. Nobody runs against you. If you're the Republican or the Democrat in that seat as a congressman or woman, nobody runs against you. You have all the money. It's not going to happen anymore. We're going to start putting people out there that are going to run and take your seat. And they're going to get the support of X and all these medias that aren't the legacy media because they have no power anymore. It's very clear. So own your mistakes. It's okay. We'll forgive you for owning your mistakes. What we don't forgive is when you make a mistake, lie about it at the beginning, and continue to lie about it. Be better. Anyway, that's the Eric T conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a few laughs. Work on those Christmas lights this year. I hope you guys have some fun. Like us, subscribe, drop the comments of your Christmas light experience because we've all had them. We've all had them. So join me next time when we have some good chat, some observations, and some good conversation. Thanks.